Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play Car Mechanics Simulator 2015. We're repairing the Royale Crown, and we found all the parts that are wrong with it, except this one part in the engine power compartment thingy. We found the ignition coil, the throttle, the fuel pump, the fuel filter. There's something else we're missing. What? Could it be the gearbox? But that usually just falls into the gearbox problems. We've checked the timing belts. That's fine. We've checked the crankshaft. That's fine. We've checked all the pistons and conrods and everything, and that looks fine. As you can see, excuse me. We've taken off the head and, well, the head cover, and we've examined the camshafts, and that's fine. So what the heck is wrong with this thing? I really don't know, but I guess the next thing to do is take off the camshafts and the head. But that's only going to expose the filters. I mean, the filters. Oh, wait a second. Look at it. The fuel rail. I didn't pay attention to it because, you know, it's all just black. But this part is rusty, which means... Oh, do excuse me. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I do excuse me. Oh, I generally do not have, you know, do not make it... a common thing that I sneeze while recording, but do excuse me, that was unexpected. Alright, so we found all the stuff that we need to actually repair on this car, so now I can take pictures of it for easy memorization, or, well, whatever. Oh, that's just the oil. I don't even... Well, okay, let's take this as well, just so we know that we need to buy the filters, because otherwise I'll probably forget, like usual. There we go. Alright. So that's all those pictures taken care of. Wow. Apparently, after sneezing, my knowledge of the English language has deteriorated even further. Interesting. So we need the fuel filter, fuel pump, direct injection, ignition coil, and a throttle. Ignition coil, and a throttle. I4. Then we need the oil filter. We need the air filter. Actually, I can just do this. Air filter. And the fuel filter. We've already bought the fuel filter, right? Yeah. And the oil filter. Belt tensioner. The timing belt. This is so much nicer than going back and forth. And the water pump. And then we need both the ABS module and the pump. Look at this. That's quite expensive. And then the brake stuff. The brake caliper. Ventilated disc. The pads. And more pads. And then we need the exhaust manifold. This is an i4 turbo. And front exhaust section. Front exhaust. There, turbo. And then the middle muffler. And a rear muffler. Oh crap, no, I needed the i4 one. Oh well. I'll have it for later then. Oh well. Right, let's put all this together. The camshafts go back in, which are still in pretty good nick. You know, reasonable condition. Let's put the head cover back on. There it is. And all the little spark plugs. And then the ignition coils. Wait a second, I've given him a completely new one, which, nope, is going... No. he's going to get his previous one back. Because, oh, actually, no. One of them needs to be replaced. Okay, let's take that back. You've paid for the service, sir, and you shall get service. There. Now let's put the steering pump back on. Actually, the steering pump was fine, so let's put that one back on. The pulley thingy, assembly, idler roller. So many things on a car, isn't it? Water pump needed replacing up. And then loads of belts and tensioners and everything. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now let's put the fuel direct injection. And also the throttle will need to go back on. Did I buy the throttle? Yes, I did. Good. Now where's the exhaust manifold and the turbocharger? Turbocharger! Man, you know, I've driven plenty of turbocharged cars, and, wait a second. That's gonna be a bit weird. How can I put the turbocharger on now? Do I have to do it from the... below the car? I guess not. That's weird. I've driven plenty of turbocharged cars, I've also driven a few modern non-turbocharged Mazdas. And it's quite an odd feeling in a way. They were petrol, non-turbocharged. Of course they were petrol. I mean, if you had a bloody diesel non-turbocharged, that would be just bizarre. I don't think there are any non-turbocharged modern diesels, unless some kind of very obscure models, which, you know, are not really passenger cars. But yeah, the feeling is kind of weird, because you're so used to the turbocharger that you're expecting that surge of torque and power, and there is none. However, on the other side, on the other hand, you know, you get the constant torque. There's not as much of it, but the torque curve is a lot nicer in a way. So it's quite odd, you know, the difference that it makes. Of course, I still prefer turbocharged cars just because of the, you know, immense torque and power they can produce. But yeah, it's kind of nice having no turbo lag and such. Although, you know, in modern cars, turbo lag has been so minimized that you don't really feel it, especially with Doppelkupplungsgetriebe with the DSG that Volkswagen and Porsche and others use. Automatics pretty much, but of course very, very advanced automatics with double clutches. Anything else down here? No. Yeah, you don't really have any turbo lag there. But on the other hand, it is quite nice driving cars with no turbochargers, because you just press the throttle and leave it there, and then, you know, that's it. Of course, if you have a big V8, I guess that lack of power isn't really that apparent. Is that it? Or have I forgotten something? The fuel pump... I have to change the oil and of course the brakes. Where's the fuel pump? That's a fuel filter. Oh yeah, the fuel pump is in the back. We can also already do the oil right now. Actually, I wonder what happens if you fill the oil here but don't have the fuel sump guard down at the bottom, the cover. What happens then? Does it just flow out and you have to pay for the cleanup? I guess. It's pretty, you know, interesting. Right, let's replace the stuff. So yeah, turbocharged cars are fun. Lots of fun. Of course, they have to be, you know, they have to be sensible. They can't just have a huge turbo on them, because then they're pretty undrivable. Because you get loads of torque and loads of power, but only after about 10 minutes of full throttle and in the very highest RPM, so it has to be sensible. Now, some of the cars do a sort of a, not really a compromise, well, it is a compromise because it's more expensive, but some of the cars, like the BMW 1 Series, I believe, does that. No, actually, not the 1 Series. I forget. Basically, they have a small turbo for the low gears, the low RPM, and a bigger turbo for power. Well, that works pretty good, but of course more expensive and more things to go wrong. Now, let's do the repair tools level 3. Alright, look at how much money we have and everything. Oh, I want to work on that. And also the Delray Imperator. Bolt Hellcat, let's take that one. And see what's wrong with it. Let me check how much. I need 9,000 for this, don't I? 9,000, that's crazy. So if I try to do this and go to the auction center, you need to buy parking first to store your car collection. It's a bit annoying. But oh well. Oh wow. Okay. Oh bloody hell. Holy crap. I think this will be our first car that will require a completely new engine. Look at this. Everything is wrong with this engine. I'm guessing crankshaft, conrods, pistons, blocks, covers, timing belts, engine power has failed. Timing needs bloody hell. Everything is wrong with this car. Well, actually, this is a fairly cool thing. What we can, imagine here is that the guy bought this thing that was rotting in a scrapyard somewhere, and its engine was blown. And they want us to take care of it. So that's pretty cool. Alright, everything will need to be pretty much replaced on this, but actually, amazingly, no. It is a V8 though, so it'll have a lot of, different parts. So not everything has to appear rusted over here. I'm guessing the conrods and such. Wait a second. Can I still do a compression test? Yes, I can. Even without the timing stuff off. I mean, even without the timing belts, or, well, actually not the timing belts, the other belts. Yeah, look at the pistons. Some of the pistons are quite in a bad condition. And considering the engine power has failed, I'm assuming we can't even start the engine, so there's no reason trying to run the car on a test track. It's not gonna let us. So let's see. Wow. Yeah, that needs to go off. Timing chain, and the crankshaft seems to look pretty good, but that can be the game can fool you, because sometimes that's not the case. Also, this thing, which is completely black, you don't know until you take it off. That was 49%, so well, yeah, I'm just taking everything off. Yeah, 24%. See, that's pretty bad. Right, the filters probably will need to be replaced. That thing is 46. What was the... 45 was the minimum. Okay. Right, the filter is in horrible condition. The carburetor seems to be okay. But we'll need to take it off anyway, because we need to get into the engine and into the pistons. So that's pretty cool. This is an actual full engine rebuild, pretty much, I would say. Have we done it before? Oh, look at those rocker arms over there. Pretty horrible. Alright, that goes off. Now, these rocker arms are okay, but we still need to take all of this off. Man, that's a lot of work. Hopefully they're going to pay us handsomely. It's kind of a shame that you can't, set your own prices on things. I can already see that some of these valve push rods are going to need replacement. 46, 8%, yep. 0%. Yeah, this car is in a bad way. Oh yeah, need to take the manifold off, which also needs replacing. That's... wow. That's going to be amazing. Let's take the, what? Oh, there's one more. Let's take, I can already see one of the spark plugs needs replacement. It's crazy, man. Yeah, but this car came from a scrapyard. It's actually amazing that the panels are in such a good condition as they are. Yeah, look at these pistons. 21%. Of course, I need to get down to the crankshaft and take that out. These rocker arms are completely shot. Pretty bad. So yeah, I have to say that I haven't driven any of the old V8s yet. And that's, if you've been watching this series, that's one of my wishes to, well, not really have an old V8, but have, you know, sort of normal, non-turbocharged V8. Because I've driven the Porsche Cayenne, I've driven the 911 Turbo S, which is just a beast of a machine. I've driven the Panamera, which has a nice V8, and I believe that the Panamera is turbocharged, right? I can't actually remember. And those things, those are just amazing cars. The Turbo S is just, it's just, you know, rips your socks off, especially with the launch control. Although I have to say I did prefer the Cayman GTS 4, no, GTS 3. That's an amazing car to drive around corners. It's just so much fun. Camshaft is okay, I think. 48%, yeah. Right, we'll need to get down below. The starter will be changed elsewhere. Let's move this car onto one of the lifters. Man, look at this. We've taken a lot of stuff out. But yeah, you know, despite all of those cars, I still kind of want a big, non-turbocharged V8 that I just press the pedal. Come on, I want to... I just press the pedal and it goes. But then again, as I said, I don't really want a V8. Well, I do want the power, but I don't want it just for the power itself. Oh, the oil was good. I want it because of the sound. I know that's probably a stupid reason for a lot of you, but, well, I love the sounds of a V8. Of a proper V8. Yeah, those pistons are horrible. So yeah. Let's take that off. And... right. Let's take the pistons out. Have we forgotten anything? I don't think we have. Taken all those things off. Okay, good. Good. Let's take the oil drain. Off you go. Yeah, this is a complete engine rebuild. Actually, I wonder, how much does it say? We've spent 0! Really? Look at that! We've pretty much discovered everything except one of the things. Interesting. It's not going to be the pistons. What is it going to be? Oh, probably the starter motor. No. Come on, I want... there we go. So we got to take all the pistons out, actually. There we go. Come on. The camera is not very cooperative. So the crankshaft, let's see how the crankshaft is. We need to find out what the state of the crankshaft is. Or have I already checked it? Oh yes, I have. Okay. So the crankshaft is actually okay. There's still one thing. Repair all engine faults. What else is there? Haven't I taken everything off? Pretty much? I mean, there's a... Is the starter motor considered a part of the engine? Not really. Yes, it is! Okay, well that's good. Engine power has failed. Well, that's probably the fuel pump as well. Let's check it out. Just to be... Come on. There it is. Yeah, that looks bad. What about the tank? 46. That's just... yeah, 45. It's just more than they want, so that's okay. That comes off. That's a lot of stuff that needs to be replaced on this car. A lot of stuff. Alright. That's brakes. Alright, so just the brakes that we haven't found now. We have to discover. That's pretty awesome. So let's do so. Yeah, the calipers need replacing. The pads and the disc, actually. That thing is okay, I think. Oh, no, actually. No, that was the ventilated disc. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, let's go to the other side. And we shall replace it all. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And we are going to continue next time when we actually buy all the stuff for this car and then put it back together. Exciting. Bye-bye.